Many people have commented on my particular video about the cure to masturbation. Oh, this is natural, this is so natural, everyone does it, so on and so forth. Well, first of all, if you just look at it very logically, the private parts were made for a certain function, and masturbation's not one of them because, number one, it's not done in any of the animal kingdom. Number two, it has ill effects. People think if you do masturbation, it has no psychological ill effects. There are books written on this issue. I mean, just go to Amazon.com and look up the books like The Porn Nation and the other books that go, other authors who've written on the same subject of what pornography does to our brains. And let me make it clear, anyone who's studied neuroplasticity, which is how the brain, how you can change the brain, basically. And, the latest research in neuroplasticity tells us that anytime you do 10,000 hours of anything, you have changed your brain. Okay? So, here it is, you may be looking at some picture or thinking about something, but your private part is getting used to the touch and getting used to getting aroused by the comfort, the it's getting, you're teaching your brain, and because it's touch, right? And touch ultimately goes where? To the brain. So when you touch your private part to get aroused, then it gets used to getting aroused by your touch. And so when you will be in an intimate relationship with your wife, then you will have problems at that time because your private part is not getting that stimulation that it is used to getting, for which you had spent many hours, probably many more than 10,000 hours. And I've had so many people ask me about how to cure them because they've told me that they have these problems. They can't get aroused because they have done so much masturbation all their life. And so don't think that masturbation has no ill effects, because you're essentially training your brain to get aroused in a certain way. And you're training your brain to get aroused based upon a certain level of, because the male hand is strong, and when and because of that strong touch and that strong roughness, unless the private part gets that type of stimulation, it doesn't get that much stimulation, and then there are people who have problems. And so this is just one of the many ill effects of masturbation. But yes, it is not natural because it takes away your ability to have a natural intimacy. Okay, it takes away, and you can even read studies that they will, if you have chronic masturbation, which means obviously you've masturbated more than 10,000 hours, then you're not, in moments of intimacy, you don't, like one person wrote, and this, I'm being graphic only because I want to make my point, which is, one person wrote, I have my beautiful wife in front of me and no response. Because why? Because I'm used to arousing myself in a certain way. And so the point here is that it changes the brain and it changes how things work naturally. So there is a great danger that if you continue masturbating, and then of course there's a whole lot of other effects about masturbation, which you can read the books on this issue and the research work on this issue, but it, a lot of people just feel bad after doing it. It makes you lazy. Your self-esteem goes down, because it's like anytime you have a crutch, right, in your life, and you have a habit that you want to come out of, especially, and this for those that want to come out of it and can't, it destroys your self-esteem. If you want to quit smoking but can't, it just makes you feel weak inside, makes you feel guilty inside. And masturbation also is one of those things that consciously or unconsciously you start to feel its control over you, and that the fact that something external is controlling you affects your self-esteem, your image of yourself, and your self-worth. So, like like I said, there are many, many aspects to this whole issue um, of, of, of masturbation, but the and you know, and there's also the problem of premature ejaculation for those people that do it so much that when they do get into an intimate relationship, they uh, they will release themselves prematurely. Um, and so there are many people have said, even some scientists have concluded, oh, it's just natural, or some health professionals have concluded, sorry, that it's just natural, but others have, and with more profound reasons uh, and more stronger evidences, proven that no, it has a strong, and people that would be focused on neuroplasticity, people that would be focused on the human brain, people that would be focused on even some level of psychotherapy uh, would find it very problematic. Maybe some people who are in cognitive psychology wouldn't find it that much problematic, wouldn't find it to be very problematic. Um, you've all heard of Pavlov's experiment, right, with the dog, where the bell rings and the dog starts salivating, right? So same thing. When it will come time, your body is trained to react in a certain way, and it doesn't react in the normal way when it comes time, because you've trained your body to respond to a different stimulus, and that stimulus that was your hand is now not there when you're with your wife. So I will just end there. For those people that want to think about it, take care. Bye.